Hi, I'm Jennifer Mele. I'm an independent consultant with Pampered Chef, and welcome to my kitchen. So today I made jam and jelly in my Deluxe Cooking Blender, and I wanted to, just remind you, this is a tool that has so many different possibilities. I used my Deluxe Cooking Blender for making Alfredo sauce, nacho cheese sauce, hot chocolate from scratch without having to sit in front of the stove and stirring it constantly. So today I was using the booklet that comes with the actual tool itself, and there's a whole section just on jams. So I had some apple cider in my refrigerator, and I really love apple jelly. So I used the Concord grape jelly recipe, but just substituted the apple juice instead, the apple cider. And 1 cup of apple cider will make 2 of these containers for, it's a half pint. 8 ounces, and you can just pop them in, let them cool. When the whole cycle is done, you just follow the directions because that's important. So the first stage for at least the jelly part, for whether you're using grape juice or apple cider, is 1 cup of juice and 2.5 tablespoons of pectin. So you pop it all into your Deluxe Cooking Blender, and then you turn the button till it says jam, and then you push the button and you walk away. And then when it beeps, you're going to add your sugar. So one thing that I tell people is never ever try to cut the sugar back because you're trying to be healthy. It's jam and jelly. You're probably just going to use a teaspoon, a tablespoon on your toast. Live a little. If you are diabetic and you are worried about sugars, they do have a low sugar, no sugar pectin that is good to substitute, and that will also be included in the recipes as well. But for the actual sugar itself, just do what they tell you to. When the beep does go through the second, I'm going to turn this a little bit so you can see my blender. There is a little cover on top. This is where you would add your sugar for the second stage, because it'll go through its cycle. It takes about 40 to 50 minutes for the whole entire thing. But the second stage, it'll beep. I'm going to add my sugar. I already have it pre-measured out. I use my silicone bowls because it can squeeze as I'm pouring it in. I found that when I take the cover off, it kind of resets. So keep the cover on the whole time. Just take off the little clear part on top. You can see it's still messy. I wanted to show you that part too. So silicone's nice because it does pour. I found that for me personally, it's important to have everything laid out ahead of time. You want to have your measurements done, make sure you have all your ingredients. You don't want to find out halfway through that you're missing something or you don't have enough, or you're scrambling to measure it when it says to add it. So the second stage, it'll beep again, and then you'll have your jelly jars. These are just the mason ball jelly jars. I choose to water bath can them. But I spent years just pop them in the fridge, and they're good in the fridge for about a month. It never lasts that long, but you could probably even do it longer. There's enough sugar that it won't go to waste. And you can also put it in the freezer for like 6 months. But again, it's not like it's gonna expire and be like, oh, that's no good anymore. Plus, it's not gonna last that long. 1 batch of strawberry, this is my strawberry here. This was a pound of strawberries. It made 4 jars, 8-ounce jars. And I followed the directions. It was a pound of strawberries. It says fresh strawberries, but I had some in the freezer from when I went strawberry picking last year, and I'm trying to downsize what's in my freezer. So I defrosted them. This came in handy too. This was, it's like a colander and a measuring cup at once, and that was really nice. I put the strawberries in, I put it on a dish, gave them an opportunity to thaw out first before I added it. And I measured to make sure it was a pound. So strawberry jam, a pound of fresh strawberries, whole and halved, which I had already taken out the green part when I first picked them. 2.5 tablespoons of pectin, and then 3 cups of sugar. Now, that's a lot of sugar, but it's jam. It's supposed to be sweet, and if you take away as much sugar as it tells you to, it's not gonna gel the way you want it to. So that's something, don't cut corners. Use less jam if it makes you feel better, but if you're going to do jam and jelly, you have to do the sugar. So Once they're sitting there, you let them sit uncovered on the counter until they're about room temperature. Then you can put the covers on and pop them in the fridge. And again, they'll be good for at least a month. When you're finished, the beautiful part is this has a self-cleaning heated wash cycle. So I wanted to show you that. I put in 3 cups of hot water, and I'm going to add 1 drop. See me taking my cover off again. Just 1 drop of soap, dish soap. I'm fond of Dawn. There we go. I let it cool before I added the hot water, but as long as it's not too much of a drastic change in temperature, you should be fine. And I'm going to turn the button until it says heated wash, and it says 140. So it's basically going to be churning and spinning. It's going to make some bubbles inside, so that's why you only want 3 cups of hot water, the 1 drop of soap so it doesn't start oozing out of the top, just like you see in those cartoons with too much dish soap. So it's just going to churn and spin until it reaches 140. It's going to beep, and then I just dump out the water in the sink and I give it another good rinse. I'm going to try to find any pieces that may have been missed, but for the most part, that's all that's needed. It's just going to wash itself, and that's a beautiful thing. I wish my laundry would do the same thing. So that's it. Jam making today. Like I said, I made the double batch of the apple jelly because it goes so quickly. I end up sharing some and, of course, saving some. But the single batch of grape jelly only called for 1 cup juice, and so that would make 2 of these containers. So I wanted more than that because if I'm going to lug out the big old pan of water to water bath them, I might as well make it count. So 1 single batch of strawberry made 4 jars of 8 ounce, and you want to leave a little bit of a head space. So for water bath canning, it suggests 1/4 inch. I have one of these tools that measures by 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 3/4, and 1. So you just measure, wipe down the seals with a clean wet cloth, and then finger tight. That's it. So that's it. So we have jam, and I'm just gonna put it aside because I have plum jam in the fridge now, but I like to mix it up a little bit. So sometimes it's just like, which one do I feel like today? And you know what I was thinking too? What I'd like to do with this is not just for toast. I'm thinking this would make a really good, the strawberry especially, for frosting. So say you make a buttercream frosting with the butter and the confectionery sugar, and you put in some of your homemade jam inside. And it pulverizes the seeds. I'm so glad I remembered to tell you. One thing about cooking on the stove for making jam is I like the chunky preserves, but not everybody, especially kids, likes the seeds and stuff inside. And if you have dentures, the cooking blender dissolves the seeds, it pulverizes them, so they're like gone. So this will be pretty much, it says jam, but to me it's a jelly just because there are no seeds or chunks. It's just one smooth like butter. So yeah, I'm gonna try to do that with frosting. Make some cupcakes with strawberry frosting. So that's it. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you're having a great day. Go outside and find some sunshine if you can. And I'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.